I was once a camper myself. But it wasn't anything like this.
Cheap creep. What's happening on this episode of Jeep Creep? Keeping it poppin'. I guess we're not really popping anything anymore because we're hard siding. So, whatever. So that kind of killed that little presentation that I got, intro, but whatever. I'm going to be installing a new counter on this episode. So this is going to be real exciting. On top of the counter is going to have, we'll have the original stove and sink. So yeah, let's get that going. Let's see what we got inside. Here's my fuel tank, nice and glowing. I'm thinking of making cutting out like a small line with a Dremel so you can have like a sight line, see how much fuel's in there. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Because there's going to be, obviously more of this paneling going over that. Then I'm going to make sure I insulate all the exterior stuff. But today I'm going to work on getting the cabinet in. The original cabinets came up a little bit shorter than, I think, 22. I'm going to bring it out to 24 where the tape line is. And same thing with my countertop. I'm going to make a standard 3 foot tall countertop like you would have in a regular kitchen. And right now I'm just going to do the framing so I don't have to worry about this back paneling because I want to leave this open until I get all my electrical figured out. But for right now, let's get the framework for the cabinets cut and installed. Man, you can just really hear that ticking. Yeah, it's super annoying. That's going to drive me bonkers. Let's figure out a way to soundproof that a bit. Let's get the height cut because that's an easy one. I'm using just good old select pine. So it's nice and cut. It's 3/4 inch by 1/2 by 6 foot. So I'm going to cut a bunch of 3-footers to get the height and go from there. All right, perfect. Even. Okay, so I cut my depth legs. Now I need to attach the vertical to the horizontal. So on my tools a little bit. There's an uneventful click, so they went in. Okay, this is the dimensions of the flooring I'm going to put down. Here's the back side of the stuff I found. It's just called Fiberglass Reinforced Panel White. It's 4x8 and it's 0.09 inches in thickness. And it's got a texture to it, which is cool. So yeah, let's get this cut up. It should be fun. You could also get this in vinyl. That's what I was originally looking for, but they didn't have that. They had this in the vinyl spot. And a vinyl sheet this big, I think was normally like $11. They wanted $30 for this. It was in the wrong spot. I said, hey, this was in the spot of the vinyl sheet. I thought this was vinyl. So they gave it to me for the same price. It's all right. I mean, I kind of like it because it's textured on one side, so it might help out a little bit. Who knows? But it's just for the floor for the cabinet. Let's hope this stuff cuts good with a circular saw. I have no idea. Okay, this looks pretty janky. Right up my alley. Let's see if she splinters. cutting a fiberglass reinforced panel. You know what this stuff reminds me of? The stuff that they put in the bathrooms, like truck stop bathrooms. But hey, whatever. It's cool. I got a big, huge sheet of it left too. I'll do the rest of the floors, or cabinet floors, I should say. 38 and a half. Perfect cutouts. Let's check out the paneling. Measured my cutout for the heater. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Like they say in the dairy industry, like butter. Alright guys, let's see if my cutouts, work. The only one that's in the way is that little hose McDo. Let's see if I can cut out that while it's in place-ish. I notched it. Let's see if that works. Not a terrible fit. My heater turned back on. So right on top, pop a couple staples in there, Bob's your uncle, we're all good. Just as square as I can. Square she's gonna get. Okay, so we got 3 screws in down there, a couple in there. I got one in that aluminum track, and I'm gonna put one more in this aluminum track. So there's no wobble, so this thing is like strong just on very minimal design. Yeah, solid. Basic box, pretty solid already. I think what I'm going to do is, since I'm designing this around pretty much the sink and the countertop, I'm going to go ahead and put that in first. Okay, here is my camper-esque. Whoa. My camper butcher block wannabe material. It's not quite deep enough. Shoot. Oh, I only got it for the width of this, that's why. Okay, when I bought this stuff, I did a little bit of research, And this is kind of the biggest panel you can get that is butcher block-esque without spending a ton of money on butcher block. The only difference between this and butcher block is it's thicker. It's not pine. It's not like a cheap pine that's glued together. It's whatever. Probably a hardwood. It's only an inch deeper than this. This is 24 by 4, and the 2 by, yeah. So it's not bad. It's very economical. I forgot what I paid for this, but it was like, I think it was like 10. You don't have to do much work to this. The only thing I might do is just change the edge on it with a router, and definitely round the corner off so you can poke your eye out. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna treat it like a butcher block, so I'll take and probably lightly sand and stain this, or treat it with poly. I don't know yet. I gotta find out how people do butcher block, but we'll get it. All right. As far as the width, I'm making my counter 24 deep, and I want a little bit of a hang. So I'm gonna fill in the back with something else. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm not worried about filling in the back. That's going to be easy to do, but it would be nice to kind of keep it open for conduit, for sink line, for stuff like that, instead of running it inside the cabinet. Okay, so what I want to do though is make sure that I got a nice edge over my countertop. I am going to run veneer on the front and build my cabinets around the sink and everything. So let's see, get corners in. And straight edge and run down in a line. Perfect. I don't know what color I want this to be yet. Now let's get the sink and everything in here, and then we can figure that out. All right, call me sentimental, but I want to use the original sink and stove that it came with. It's not in bad shape. And it's just kind of cool and give kind of a vintage look, I guess. I do want to see if I can get this stove to sit below flush, you know. The sink is going to be the easy part. I'm going to go ahead and grab that sink, and then we can figure out the cutout and placement of that right now. All right, I've taken out all the screws around the border of this, and I already popped off the heat shield cover there. And now let's get this guy out. You can see the back of the stove here. There's the line that I cut off to get this thing out of here. But there's the hose right there. So all I need to do is find this replacement hose. You know, just fits in there. Looks like it's grounded here. And yeah, that's that. Let's set this aside for right now. All right, I want to pull the cabinet hardware off and probably reuse it. It's very vintage looking, very cool. I don't know about the doors because they're delaminating and it's particle board. Maybe I'll get a piece of wood and route it so it's kind of got that same look. I don't know. But the hardware, since this is all metal, they're riveted in, so I have to drill the rivets out. So getting the sink out is turning out to be a big pain in the butt. Looking at the mechanism, It's like a spring piece of metal that slides in there to kind of hold it in place. But the screws, of course, are completely rusty. So let's see if we can get them out. And just like that, got the hose out, or the sink out. Here is the hand pump sink, which I don't plan on using. I wonder if it even works. I really don't care, because one, it's too low, and two, I'm not using a hand pump. I want to hook up a battery pump. This is pretty cool. Here's the tag on it, made in Canada. And you can see the date, manufacture date on it. Looks like 687 RV something. But this is a like a metal with a porcelain finish. And the drain plug in it's pretty cool too. It's actually got a thing to lock it to hold water. So that's cool. I mean, it's not a really deep basin, but you know, I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of dishes hopefully either. Looking good. Took out the sink and I scrubbed it down real good. And the drain is pretty neat. It's actually got a little stopper. You screw this down and it plugs the water, so I'm pretty happy with that. Screwed that back down. On the back of this guy unscrews, and it's two pieces. I took it apart and I cleaned it out real good, and I got it sealed up real good again. So this is ready for reinstallation. Let's move on and get the stove. Okay, so we got this polished to the T. It's nice and clean. This is the top of my stove. Here's my sink, and you can see that's real nice and clean and shiny too. So I need to cut out the holes to mount these. So let's get that started. Okay, here we go. Getting warm in here. Feels good. Let's get everything aligned using the old countertop as a template. You can see that the new one's a little bigger, and let me assure you that was pretty intentional because I wanted it just a little bigger because I have to do some plans. And it's actually right there where it's glued. I'll probably cut on that line. Okay, good. Perfect. So we can use this as a cutting block as my original idea. Let's see. So let's get the stove and pop it in. See if she fits. Oh yeah, I didn't film it, but I did test the jets on it, or the burners. This one worked like a charm. This one wasn't working, so I cleaned out the jet. Working like a charm. This has got a hard copper in there, which is good. I don't want to run a rubber line in there. So what I got coming is a really long line that's rubber from here all the way to the tank. We'll run that on another episode. So for right now, let's just get this fit in. This should fit. Like a glove. Like a glove. So, wham bam. That looks pretty good so far. Let's pop our stove top on so you can see what that looks like. I don't have it all the way on because I got to pry it on, but that looks pretty good. I like it. Got just a little bit of counter space right here, and I like that. So, you know, like I was saying, what I was originally going to do was put this down low and then set this on top when not in use, but it would have, number one, it would have required a bigger hole. A little bit limited on counter space here because of my leg placement. I have my leg placed here a little bit in and not all the way at the end. So yeah, I'm going this route. I don't think I really need this much more space, and I'll probably save this and make it a cutting board. It's kind of cool. And then I can, like, you know, hang it or something. That'd be neat. All right, let's get the sink figured out. So my sink cut out. I gotta cut this out so it does not actually what I should do is cut this out so I can get it real tight up against this. Let's get a hole started for jigging. There we go. Let's see if I can get the sink to fit now. Perfect. Sink fits. Put that straight like that. I was just making sure because, you know, these fine nails, they don't really pull in the wood like a screw does, so I'm making sure that the wood is seated really well against the top of this, and then had a little bit of excess, so I bend it around, which is cool. That'll just make it a little bit stronger. Eventually, I'll have a vertical support in here as well, but I'm building this literally around the top and eventually a cooler fridge thing, so I don't know how far I'm going to get into this. And if there's a water heater, a lot of optional stuff that can be put in here. So all right, let's get our appliances in. Slide that in. So I need to find a clip. I just popped out. It's got these really weird clips right here and here that kind of hold the grates down. I don't know if I'm using them right or what, but they pop out pretty easy. I don't know if I like them. I might have to change that design. Yeah, I see this little tab thing. This holds the top on Kind of bummed to have to get rid of that, but it's too close. It's cold out there. Went out there without a jacket. Not smart, but man, it's toasty in here. My hat off. Whew, cool off. Okay, so now that I got that side cut off, I can push up against this one, like so, and now the sink can just go right in there. Good. Looking good.